smoking more than I want to. I can't help that I love you, and I always wonder what you up to. Niggas always hit me up when you come through, and I appreciate everything that we went through. And God really made a gift when He sent you, and I ain't tryna downplay none of my issues. And I just thought it was something you could get through, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta do and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta do and make things so real, yeah. Here you go. Once again, you gon' put on a show. You ain't tryna understand me at all. You just wanna get the suicide door. So show me what's under that before we come to that. I'm a pimp, I'm a fucking Mac. You could trip, but ain't no fun in that. We could sex, but once you bitch, ain't no coming back. And once I switch, this ain't Nintendo, you can't play me. This straight out the jungle, you can't tame me. I don't get tight when I'm right, but I get tight when you wrong and wanna fight. You crazy. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta do and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta do and make things so real, yeah. Here you go. Once again, you gon' put on a show. Once again, you gon' put on a show. Why you gotta go and make? Why you gotta go and make things so real? Why you gotta go and make? Why you gotta go and make? Why you gotta go and make things so real? Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real? I'm just trying to heal, yeah. Why you gotta go and make things so real, yeah.
Woo! Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is not our normal day, but we are here. My name is Ivy. Welcome to the Raw Zone. I am here alongside Mr. Buster Hyman, who's taping up, probably women in his job again.
No, I'm definitely not doing that. But what up, everybody? It's your boy Buster Hyman, aka Michael Bostic. What's good, everybody?
Man, it's been a long ass weekend.
Very long. Very freaking long.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if shit was just going down or I don't know. I can't call that. It was long though.
All I remember is one day was Thursday, and then it felt like one long Sunday.
Yeah, I can go for that.
You
Yeah, I
can
can
go
go for that. Yeah, it pretty much was a long ass fucking Sunday.
Oh man. But what'd you end up doing though? Did you end up being an overnight essential worker, or were you a slave to parenthood?
It was Parenthood this weekend. Did I go in this weekend at all? Nah, I didn't go in this weekend at all. I just stayed home. Did the Mikey thing, and then now I'm back being an essential worker, back here. But this is almost over, so I thank God. This was good while it lasted, but I'm looking quite over it.
Shout out to Pat on the check-in, Patrick Reiner, aka the Pledge Master Extraordinaire. Thank you for tuning in with us. So yesterday there was a dope event at DTF Radio. Shout out to D Chambers for really putting on for the culture, and pretty much did something that I don't think anyone in the New York indie scene has accomplished, and I could be wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they did their own indie versus battle, and it came out like with a whole camera crew, It became like widely broadcasted in DTF radio, and No Time for the Small Talk ended up pulling 995,000 views.
Wow. 1,000?
995,000 views.
Wow. That's freaking amazing.
And for the indie scene, that is such a huge freaking accomplishment. So I'm very proud of D Chambers and Soundbite Management. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Mark for holding it down yesterday and letting them have it. Shout out to Herc that had to deal with being the manager with me. Shout out to everyone that was watching. Like that show was like, if you remember how we felt watching the Swiss Beat versus Timberland
Yeah.
when it first started, that's the same feeling you have watching it.
Wow. That's dope. Shout out to everybody that was involved.
So, yo, I'm gonna before we go into one of the songs from our guest,
Uh-huh.
because our guest is patiently waiting for us.
Uh-huh.
I kind of want to just like do these RIPS because the media doesn't want to put it in on top of everything that's going on to to kind of remind you that shit is still happening outside of COVID-19.
Okay.
So R.I.P. Naya Rivera, the Glee alum that her body was found in Cali, 34 years old. R.I.P. Nicole Sarah, YouTube sensation coming out of Ghana. Um, her and her unborn child mysteriously died last Sunday. Shout out to Benjamin Q, who was Elvis Presley's grandson. He died at 27 based on suicide. And rest in peace, Kelly Preston, the Jerry Maguire actress, wife of John Travolta. Um, and it's really difficult, because we already hear so many people are dying of COVID-19 or COVID-19 related cases. And then you still forget that there's a whole rest of the world that's still happening.
Yeah, right. Everything is still happening around us, and the life still moves on. Life still goes on. So, yo, absolutely, like, rest in peace, and to everything that's everybody that passed. The YouTube, the young lady that was on YouTube, they never found out why, right? They
Like,
never really,
I
they
found
never
out
stated it.
they never stated why. Like they're waiting to do an autopsy based on what
Okay,
had happened. Because one day she was fine, like she was doing all this YouTube stuff, her and her man, and
I
then
mean, yeah,
and then she got pregnant. So then she started vlogging the process, and then out of nowhere, boom, 24 years old, pregnant and dead.
wow, wow, that's really sad, man.
You
Whew,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's sad though that people are still not taking life seriously. That even without this COVID, people are still dying of other shit, and
yeah,
there's people that are still ganging up everywhere and not wearing masks and not doing this. And it kind of brings back to what we were talking about where Kevin Owens went off to Vince McMahon in
right. It was like everybody needs to wear masks,
or
like,
I'm not coming back.
right.
And it's 100% accurate. And it's like, are we really still that slow as a society?
Right. No, I think people are just feeling like they're over the mass situation, and there's a lot of details about COVID that's coming out. People are trying to say it's been a hoax. Like, people are like, "Yo, how come we haven't seen homeless people with it?" Stuff. Just a whole lot of false information and things going out. And
But if you
I
talk
think it's causing a lot of confusion, and it's causing a lot of doubt as far as whether or not you have to wear a mask. But I mean, even if you don't wear a mask for yourself, wear a mask for the protection of everybody else around you. Because even if you don't believe in it, somebody else may, and somebody else may get sick based off of what you don't believe. Like, if you get sick, you may be asymptomatic and you never go get checked out. You can still pass on whatever you got going on to everybody else. Like, just wear a mask until they say not to. It's just the safer way to be.
I mean, and that's exactly it. It's not like it's gonna kill you to cover your mouth. Didn't our parents tell us to cover our mouth when we were sick? You sneeze, wash your hands. I'm still mad that they can't wash their hands.
There was a meme I saw that said if Kane threw out 11 people in the Royal Rumble and stayed in the Royal Rumble for well over an hour. You could wear a mask for 10 minutes in the supermarket. Thought that shit was hilarious.
Mm. Imagine waiting till I drink water. No.
Yeah, I wish I would have fucking screenshotted that shit. That shit was hilarious.
Oh man. So guest was here, but he popped out. So I'm gonna play one of our other new singles that were submitted to us by Rosie Rothschild, House of Cards, and we're gonna play that, and then we're gonna bring our guest
Sounds good.
about him because he's dope as fuck, and I've been following him for the last few months and became a fangirl.
All right,
So
let's do it.
without further ado, we got Rosie Rothschild, House of Cards.
Flashlight, one of them poker stars, right so hard, but it all came down like a house of falling cards, right so cars, baby wavy in Mercedes, dipping dirty. I've got scars, but we built this from the ground up. Full of heart, tried so hard. Got a royal flashlight, one of them poker stars, tried so hard, but it all came down like a house of falling cards, right so hard. Every wavy in Mercedes, zipping shady. I've got scars, but we built this from the ground up. Full of heart.
From the records, I'm hitting your screens. Mercedes Benz, so we keep it all clean. Roll with the kettle, I keep it pristine. Running the label, a milling machine. Life can be hard when you're living your dreams. You chatting the shit when you're killing the scene. Royal flush with a king and a queen. Going all in like a sting from a bee. Always feel fresh, never blow the gauge. Run the business on the floor on stage. All these artists, yet you know I'm paid. I'm self-employed, I don't get a wage. I work all fucking 7 days. That 7 doesn't cash flow 7 ways. That's all legit. No cheddar haze and a sparkle. It's lemonade, so get the rum and the cherryade and the family barbecue and the bevies made and the chip and dip and the mayonnaise and I sit in the whip and let the fragrance blaze. You watch my socials, haterade, but my shit's you like Gatorade. We don't get wet, but we stay in the rain. Double JDs when we gliding planes, changing apps when they hide our names so they can't find us at our place. Came from the bottom, had our raises, toe rag top lads had our changes, changed the pages, then become strangers, never change faces, road to become famous, contagious, winning at all stages when we smoking flavors.
Tried so hard, got a royal flashlight, one of them poker stars, tried so hard, but it all came down like a house of falling cards, tried so hard. Every wavy in Mercedes, zipping shady. I've got scars, but we built this from the ground up. Full of heart.
Sipping JD when the killers play me. Figures stay clean like a scout's Jay-Z. Love me or hate me, you ain't my midgie. You too flaky, I can't spacey. Nah, why you tell those lies? Nah, why you bring those guys? Nah, why you give those eyes? I'm gonna cut them ties, cause if you had a chance you would keep me down. Criticize and beat me down. Rip the crown and keep the gown. But I'm valued, so you keep me round. See me now, yeah, he be found. He be bound to the starlight. Spits the bars in the dark right, and he hits the park in the car like credit cards all charged like from the bank of Gotham like Batman. No superpowers, just gadgets. You can try, you can't match it. These bars to break like matchsticks. You got the code, I crack it. AMG up on my jacket, neck hangs on my chain. You mean your chain hangs on your neck? No, cause I represent this Liverpool city and I am the medallion. Biggest Rari in the city and I am the stallion. Success can make you lonely. Sitting eating pasta, sipping on Peroni, and that is Italian.
Tried so hard, got a royal flashlight, one of them poker stars, tried so hard, but it all came down like a house of falling cards, tried so hard. Every wavy in Mercedes, zipping shady. I've got scars, but we built this from the ground up. Full of heart, but we built this from the ground up. Full of heart.
And we are back. That was Rosie Rothschild, House of Cards featuring Lottie. Yo, I told you I bring a lot of random ass shit to the table, bro. The email, bro.
Say what? Email.
Yo, our email gets some random music, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for real.
But I'm with it. If you want to submit music, look on a ticker. Follow us everywhere at Raw Zone NYC. Submit your music to mnrawbookings@gmail.com. Catch us Tuesday nights on DTF Radio. Technically today is Wednesday, but you know, we're just
It
cool
is what
like
it is. We do what we want to do. Fuck it.
yeah, fuck it. But Saturday catch us in Michigan. On Platinum Radio, powered by Talent Wave. We on from 5 to 7. But without further ado, I want to bring our guest. Are you excited, Mr. Hyman?
Oh, I am, man. I was reading his bio. I'm very excited.
Me too. So without further ado, guest music, everyone.
What's going on, everybody?
Yo, what's good, brother? What's good?
What's
I'm
going on? Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being understanding, man. It's been an interesting week for everyone.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally understandable. Not a problem. How are you guys doing tonight?
We good. We good. We very excited about meeting you. I found your music on it so randomly because I had hit you up about your playlist, not knowing you were guest Free World. So I had heard your music, and I was heading to a gig. This was pre-COVID days where you didn't have to wear a mask in the Uber. And I'm bumping to Nights in the City. And I'm like, oh. I swear to God, outside of Ray, like I never really, I was always biased to Jersey because of experiences in Jersey, so I kind of just like leave it be. So, but then I started getting into more Jersey rappers to him. So I was like, damn, they got me. They got me.
And see, I blended both worlds on that, New Jersey and New York, with that song. So I can see why.
You blend a lot of different aspects in your music. Like you make your music also very kind of like I wouldn't say theatrical, but cinematic.
Yeah, and that's kind of the intent behind it all. It's all I'm a big movie and comic book and stuff like that, TV. So like for me, the whole entire thing from top to bottom is a presentation. Like the cover, the track listing, the way everything's kind of laid out and structured, even like the rollout pre and post is all kind of tied in to make it kind of feel like that, to where every little thing I do and everything kind of ties into everything. And each one of the projects that I've done all kind of tell a consistent story, and they all coincide with one another. So like each story that's done, each project that's done is another story.
Let me ask you a question. Now you said like your projects are based on like your big comic book loving anime. I'm assuming too.
Not really that too much. Like superhero stuff, Batman, Avengers, all that kind of stuff.
So who?
Do you prefer Marvel or DC?
That's where I was going.
That's a tough question. I'd probably lean more towards DC. I'm a big Batman fan, so like Joker,
That's
all
it.
those kinds of characters.
Oh
That's
no!
all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. Interview is over.
All right, I'm just gonna ask this question because you said Batman, and we've been debating about this the last few weeks, as you could tell.
Yeah.
Especially in the Raw Zone chat. Who was the better Batman?
Out of just the movie ones?
Out of
TV?
just the movies. Out of just the movies. Just the movies.
I added Adam West because I actually liked him.
I probably have to go either with Michael Keaton, the original, or probably Christian Bale, I guess. A lot of people though are saying that this Robert Pattinson movie is supposed to be very good. I had my doubts about it until I saw recent like pictures from the set where Zoe Kravitz is in like the full Arkham gear.
Right.
Pattinson's in like more of a steampunk Batman, like they use the gun parts to make the bat symbol on his chest and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks like from what they're saying, like it looks like it's going to have a lot of cameos from a lot of different people and like a lot of different villains. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they finally do a Batman right, because I really enjoyed Gotham, the TV show.
Yeah,
and see, Gotham lost me. That show lost me. Like I was good for the first like 2 seasons, and then I was like, I'm not really invested
I
in
mean,
it too
listen,
much.
towards the last season, they really just I think they dropped the ball on it because it's like you already really extended the story quicker than you should have,
Right.
so you could have built it up a little better. Because didn't Bruce kind of start the whole Batman thing the end of season 3 or was it season 4?
It was like
Like,
one of those seasons, and then like
yeah, it
if
was one of them.
they took the time jump and everything like that, I was hoping they were going to continue it. That's what I thought they were going to do with like taking the time jump and like progressing everything. I thought they were just going to
Or
like
like
continue it under a new show, but
or
I don't
yeah.
like when shows do time jumps like that. It just
Yeah, I
throws it
thought
off
like
for me.
that was my intent behind it. I thought like, oh, they must be doing the time jump because they have another show that they're going to continue, like maybe switch
From
up some of the
there,
characters, progress
right?
some of them, and just continue with like most of the cast. But then I don't know. I mean, it's possible now with HBO Max.
I heard that they're coming out with a show called Gotham PD.
Yeah, I did see that the other day that they announced that as well.
Yeah,
So I mean,
so
they're coming out with all kinds of content for that now on top of everything
right,
else. So I mean,
right.
streaming. I mean, you're going to be paying more for streaming services than you are for your cable bill at this
For cable, yeah,
point.
yeah,
that was
that's
the intent anyway.
I'd rather not anymore. I told my mother to get rid of the cable, just keep the internet.
Well, I look. I said it just like this. If you have HBO Max and you have Disney Plus, you pretty much have everything that you need.
Oh
Now, if
yeah,
you want to get if you want to get anything else, then by all means get it. But like, really, HBO Max has literally almost everything,
except all the
and
Batman movies right now.
except for all the Batman movies right now, which I think you can find on DC Universe.
Yeah, but I think they're merging the two eventually. So like,
They should, they really should, because
They're
DC Universe is
they're
trash.
working on it on HBO Max. Like they have a whole section that says DC Universe, but it doesn't have the amenities from like the actual app. And I'm still waiting for Mikey to like get it so I could get like his password.
What, DC Universe?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be waiting on that because I'm never getting that. That was trash. DC Universe is absolute trash.
Couldn't we like
After Young Justice was over, I was through.
couldn't we
that was a good show. I didn't watch
Right.
like the newer stuff that they put out, but I watched
Yeah,
like the
nah,
older
the new season was like freaking awesome. Like they based it around like Black Lightning and like a whole bunch of other shit. It was really, really good. Really good.
That's cool.
So tell us about you.
What do you want to know in particular?
I want to know everything. Where you come from, what's your sign,
Oh, she's trying to get it like that. So maybe I should step out the interview then.
Yeah, I was born in North Jersey. I grew up in Patterson and Clifton, and then Washington Township, and then moved to South Jersey. I've been down here for quite a while. I lived in Florida for a while, but I live in Toms River now. So real South Jersey.
Oh wow. How did you get involved in hip hop? I know you probably are asked that a lot.
I fell in love with music like when I was a kid. So like growing up, my mom played music all the time, just all kinds of stuff, country music and old jazz and old rock and just all kinds of stuff. So I really fell in love with just music in general. So ever since I was little, I used to write. I used to perform around the house and just do stuff, sing songs and stuff like that. And then as I kind of progressed, I started, making my own music. And eventually it progressed into this. I took a break from music. Like I did music pretty much all the way through high school. Started, I'm 33. I'm about to be 33. So
where you look like a kid.
when I was in high school, like we used to press CDs. We used to hand out anything we could. So I come from that era of like writing the magic marker on the CD and passing it out to somebody. So I started making music probably around that age, and then took a long break from it, probably like in my late 20s. I recently just came back probably about 2 years ago. I put out The Sun Is Gone, was my first project back. And really it was meant to be like my last project. It wasn't, I wasn't even going to do anything else afterwards. And the response from people and the support from people in my corner, Kid Pro and Sade and a bunch of other people, they really just kind of kept pushing me to like, nah, you got to keep going. And I wasn't even actually going to perform. I wasn't even going to do nothing. Just wanted to drop the project and call it a day. and then ended up going out to a show up in Lodi, Check It Open Mic, which is run by Sade. And I really just, I performed that night and like was back ever since. It just like the ball kind of got rolling. So ever since we went on like a mini tour. We did a bunch of shows all over the state and constantly like right up until COVID, literally we did like a show right before everything got locked down. So yeah, it was going hard for the last like year and a half, just all over the place.
And
What was it that made you leave, and what made you come back?
I kind of fell like, for me personally, I'm not big like on the business side of things, I guess you could say. I'm not very good at like playing with like nice with people. I just kind of do my own thing, and like, you know, I like making the music that I like to make. So for a while I felt like the music had changed, and it wasn't, it was kind of, everyone was doing the same thing. And if you were doing something different, people didn't want to hear it. So I kind of just really fell out of love with that. What was that? I'm sorry.
What happened?
I didn't hear what he said. He cut out.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh.
It was weird because I heard it too. It was weird because I heard that too. I was like, what was that?
I thought that was you.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I just kind of felt like I really, I just took a break from it for a while, and then I just started making these songs that I put together for Sun Is Gone, and really had no intention. Like I didn't know what to expect from people, and it seemed like people really enjoyed like the things that I had to say. So it just kind of continued from there. And then this last February on Valentine's Day, I put out Forever Evil, and then just a couple months ago, I put out The Purge.
So two things, right? One, what made you want to drop back to back like this?
It really wasn't intended at all. Really, I did Sun Is Gone, previous last year. And then the full intention was like, all right, as I started doing shows and as I started getting back into music and like really being out there, I kind of knew like, all right, I'm going to do another project and it's going to be Valentine's Day again. Just kind of fit the same theme, go right back like I did with Sun Is Gone, same day, same holiday, and just drop it. The Purge kind of really wasn't intended to even be anything. I had these songs, a couple of them didn't make Forever Evil. A couple of them were all new during quarantine. And I really didn't know how to go about releasing them. I didn't know if I was going to go the whole single route where I was going to do, a single a month and just pump them out like that, or if I just package it together. And coincidentally, all those songs kind of fit in a way that I was able to just package it together, and it still fits within my overall concept of telling the story and kind of progressing things from project to project. So really, like, if you listen to The Purge, the last song, This Is the Way, is probably like the bridging song, I guess you could say, between Forever Evil and then what comes next.
Okay.
So you talked about coming from the era where you press the CDs, you pass them out. You now just talked about, performing it in the era like where we were able to perform during COVID. And what I noticed that you did, and I don't know if you did it intentionally, where you were talking about pushing it as singles. Every time I saw you do your videos on Mondays, it's always either a verse from the song that you're promoting, or it was the song itself in the video. And I figured you had come up with like creative ways to make yourself stand out. But tell us about that process of dealing with the COVID and putting out The Purge.
Yeah, like so we literally did a show the Friday before everything got locked down. So I actually got the headline, which was really an honor. I got the headline at Check It Open Mic up in Lodi. So because of Forever Evil coming out and everything like that. So we did the show Friday, and then literally everything kind of shut down the following week. So it was kind of a huge adjustment to trying to figure out everything and trying to figure out really what to do and how to go about it. I think it's been a growing point for everybody in general. I think you're either locking yourself down and you're making music, or you're trying to find other creative ways to get out there and show people. Like, I know a lot of people have done the virtual open mics, and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten too much into them. So I really wanted to try doing other stuff. So throughout this time, like for me, I've been learning how to shoot video, like actually shoot video. And then I came up with the Move Music Mondays concept. It was just, hey, just gonna put out these different verses and kind of show my face to people that may not be familiar with me or may only see like pictures and clips like of performing, and like try to give them a more personal experience of like, here's a verse. Most of the time they're brand new. Like most of the time I haven't really done any old verses yet. I plan to bring up some old songs that maybe people haven't heard yet to try to expose them to it. But it's kind of just been week by week. And luckily enough, I haven't like ran out of anything. Each week I kind of just luckily have something that I can pull from and promote. But yeah, some of the songs end up becoming something else and end up, getting put out on singles or getting put out on projects. And then some of the songs are just like remixes or throwaway tracks. I just did I call them free mixes because of Free World. So I called them, I just did something with a Black song. And not too long ago, did something with a Janae Ko song. So stuff like that. I love messing around with different genres and playing around with stuff and just seeing kind of what I can come up with and pushing the limits.
Dope.
Tell us a little bit about Free World Music, because while you weren't performing, you had Free World Music, or were they?
No, actually, so Free World Music, it actually started off as an idea with me and my best friend. We had actually kind of came up with the idea like a long time ago, probably like when we were in our 20s, like real young. And it was always kind of an idea of like, yeah, this is our label, like this is our thing. As more recently, it kind of progressed into some other stuff where like it's more of an exposure point for other artists. It's still the label I represent myself under. So like all my projects are released under Free World Music. But I wanted to do something. There's a lot of pages. There's a lot of things on Instagram that like promote artists and try to do things, but it's usually only for like their clique or like the people they're cool with or the people that are paying them to do it. I wanted to do something totally different to where the artists could get exposure, events, media personalities, photographers, engineers, beat makers, just everybody from the industry can get some kind of exposure. And really, it's as simple as just tagging me in something or hitting me up, follow the page, and just let us know, like when you have a single coming out. I have an Apple Music playlist. Every week I update it with new songs that come out. I try to keep a lot of the songs on there for a couple weeks and just, filter them out. Sometimes I'll grab a different song from the artist and do stuff like that just to try to help and try to get more people to get their music heard and not charge them and not, play the politic game with everybody.
So what is your criteria for like a good song? Obviously that's not yours.
I don't really discriminate like too much on the playlist. Like there's some stuff I really like that. Obviously, like if it's just like really bad, but for the most part, like I put pretty much everything on there that people send me. Just for the simple fact is it's artists helping artists. Somebody else might not post it, so why not? Why not be the one to like, hey, give this person a break that no one might hear it before. That's really just the intent of it. So for me, I don't really do too much like, nah, I'm not gonna put this on there. It's just mainly like I just listen to the quality. If the quality of the music is decent and like it's recorded well, that's all that really matters to me. Because then if it's real low or like it's just really horrible quality, it's tough to like kind of get past that for me, especially being like an engineer. That's kind of tough to get through.
I think you're speaking Buster's language right now.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I'm definitely big on quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, being an engineer and an artist, I definitely look for that when I'm listening to other people's music. Like people submit stuff to me and they have like tags in their songs or it's not mixed properly, things like that. It's like that's what I look for. That's what I look for. It's not so much, I listen to everybody's shit. I give everybody a chance. Like
I do the
I'm
same
not
exact.
really on some, oh, your music is trash. Like I don't really judge people by that. Like I judge by like quality. Like,
What does it sound like? Another thing I really like judge them on too is like if they're reaching out to me for the first time and like they don't even follow the page,
Right.
9 times out of 10, like that's not even, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at least follow the page. At least like send me a message. Like introduce yourself. If I know
Right.
who you are. Like,
Conversation.
it's all kind of how
Proper
people
like
handle
etiquette and
themselves. So
stuff.
like, if I get messages from people that like I've never met before and they, you know, they approach it all the right way, yeah, no problem. 9 times out of 10, I'm not even going to judge your music. I'm just throwing it on the playlist because of how you approach me.
Right.
I think that's mainly important. And I think it goes out the window a lot of times for people nowadays is like how you talk to people and how you approach people is very important, especially in like the music industry.
Very true.
So let's talk Purge, like the actual song.
The first song?
The Purge song. The actual Purge.
So the song is actually produced by Royce the 5'9". I was lucky enough to actually get a beat that he produced and really just loved it. And like I had full intent. I knew it was a Royce beat, so like come hell or high water, I was making a song to this. Royce is one of my favorite artists, so like to be able to work on something that like he produced is just really, really cool for me. And I really felt like that song was kind of like a little bit of the pent up frustration, I guess, did you get like being an artist and like kind of sometimes feeling like you're overlooked or kind of feeling like you're floundering sometimes, like of trying to get people to listen and trying to get people, you know, to reach. So really that song was kind of that. It was kind of making a statement and kind of letting people know like, you know, this is me, this is who I am, and like this is what I do. And I can make songs that are personal and make things that are introspective, but I can also rap. So I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to show with The Purge. That's why I think a couple of the songs are a little more, I guess you could say, up tempo, like not up tempo, but more just bars, more just spitting. That's kind of really what I want to do with that.
Okay, so introduce it for us.
All right, so this is The Purge off The Purge EP. It's produced by Royce the 5'9", and here we go.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge.
But when this shit's out, you gotta do it like Yellow Wolf. I ain't making it bad for white folks in hip hop. Come on, I think not. I came into this game and I saw all this hard, so I couldn't help but change and reboot it all like I'm Chris Rock. Your time's running up, keep staring at that wristwatch. I ain't on my social media shit when I say TikTok, cause I ain't like these folks. I don't like these folks. They watch your story, but they damn sure won't like your post. I write what I write for my life as I just type these notes. Joaquin Phoenix clowning around as I recite these jokes. Where's the monsters? All I see are prima donnas. There's not enough Frank Charades. Too many Jimmy Hoffas. Y'all say I'm different. Y'all can keep your distance, cause everything I wanted, I'm just speaking to existence. Y'all made a bad choice. Y'all ain't some bad boys. I ain't got no time for all these social awkward sad boys. Done with all this titty shit. I landed, it can only be one. All y'all niggas gone ahead and dig your ditch, cause y'all ain't killing shit. Please don't even try me before I throw you off a roof and make it really catch your body. These people can deny me all they want, but they ain't doing shit but making me more madder. Wanna honk, I'll show you banner. Don't respond to banner. Dope, I am the standard. I keep on showing all of these folks like Thor's hammer. I hope you get a gander. I can be a little mean once I turn green like a lantern or the fiend while I'm at it. So just let me break this down so y'all can understand. Y'all come across like Justin Bieber. I'm son of Sam. I ain't fucking up the plan, so leaving nothing up to chance. It's a little footloose, but I ain't really come to dance. What up the fans? Damn, I think y'all know that my flow is undisputed, just like Adam Cole. And I think it's quite absurd. I gotta fight this urge, but tonight's the night. I think it's only right we purge. Purge.
Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
You blacked out. You did it, man. You did the thing. You doing the thing, man. I'm over this. You blacked.
Yeah, that song was really something special. It came out really great. I was really happy with the finished product and just how it came across. The whole entire thing, like the taking the purge skit and like putting the service announcement in there and doing all that kind of stuff after the fact was just something that kind of came to me like when I was doing the process. Like I kind of knew like, all right, this is gonna be the intro, and just kind of went from there, and then it all came together. So it was really dope.
So you said Royce the 5'9" was one of your inspirations, and I can tell you, I don't want to compare everyone to Eminem because then they're gonna be like, oh, what? Because I'm white. And I don't want to go through that, right? But you have a very, I don't want to say Eminem type flow, but you have a very Eminem type approach, like very conscious, when you do it, but it's not like the same old stuff that everyone attacks you with.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes I get the Mac Miller comparison sometimes.
Because of look, because of...
I guess because of I guess some people just relate some of the music I do to that. I get the Joe Budden and Slaughterhouse comparisons, but like that's kind of given. They really were like a lot of my favorite artists, all four of them. So that kind of comes across, I think, a lot in my music.
So speaking of Budden, right? Do you watch the Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah. I listen to it.
So I believe this was episode 360 that talked about it, or 359. Yes, I've been watching them in order lately. I have nothing else to do when I work other than watch Joe Budden podcast. But he was talking about how they were talking. Him, Rory, and Mal were talking about how Atlanta and New York have issues music-wise because, the people of Atlanta feel like New York snubs them. Do you feel the same way about Jersey artists with New York?
Not really. I feel like if you really look at it, there's a lot of people that you probably wouldn't even know are from Jersey that made it in some aspect, whether they're music, whether they're entertainers, whether they're models, whether they're actors. There's a lot of people that are from Jersey. So I don't really feel necessarily we get overlooked, especially now. I just kind of think there hasn't been somebody that's like really elevated themselves or elevated like the state to that level yet in a while. You know what I mean? Like we kind of go through phases where like we have some top artists and then they change out over time. That's kind of just how it's been around here.
So you guys don't have an artist even in the indie that you feel like really is out there?
Right now, like in Jersey, the person I would say like off the top, the two people I would say, Ransom, he's been around for quite a while, and Sue Surf. They're probably the top two Jersey artists, at least in my opinion, right now. I mean, and then you got a whole handful of independent artists and guys that are coming up that are fantastic. Kid Pro, Ron Solomon, Ace Felly, S Double. There's a whole list of great people. Ray Pearson, I know you guys know Ray.
I mean, well, yeah, I manage Ray and I manage Busta Hyman over here because he's a singer.
Okay. Yeah. I actually met Ray through Check It Open Mic. So we met at one of the shows.
You know what's funny? He told me that, right? And that was the same open mic because I'm friends with Rogue.
Okay.
And Rogue, when she went to support you, she went and recorded Ray's footage for me.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how everything started to get put together.
Yeah, I love Rogue, man. She's awesome. She's one of like the coolest people I've gotten to meet, like doing all this music stuff. She always like supports the whole crew and always is reposting everything and showing love to everybody. So if she's watching, what up, Steph?
Shout out to her because she be standing up for people. Like she, like people, came after her for trying to call a racist out, and now Instagram deactivated her.
I didn't even know that. I had no idea.
That's why she poof it went disappear.
Oh, see, I didn't even know. I didn't even see that.
Because the internet remains undefeated.
They've been doing all kinds of stuff though. Like I know somebody who was trying to promote a song like on Juneteenth and for Black Lives Matter, and like he was getting problems with trying to promote it. Like Facebook and Instagram wouldn't let him run like the promotion for it. They kept saying it violated the terms. So I know there's been a lot of stuff going on, and that's kind of like I don't know if you want to get into it now, but that's kind of why like we ended up doing City of Fire.
Why you like what? I'm sorry, I lost you.
Why we ended up doing City on Fire.
Okay, that's perfect. The Five Horsemen.
Yeah, we all like it started off as like a kind of joke, like just us calling ourselves the Horsemen, because like we were just in a group and we're all wrestling fans, like in some shape or form.
Oh,
So
word?
like, yeah. So we all like joked around, oh, like we were like the Horsemen with the J.J. Dillon era, where there's five, and so it kind of just stuck, and then we kind of started playing around with the idea of like, what if we actually did something with it? And what if we actually came together and made a collective and put out some music together? I was lucky enough to do something with Ron before. Me and Kid Pro have a really great relationship. He's one of my closest friends. We've done a bunch of songs together in the past. So it kind of felt natural. Like we all click. We all kind of really get along with one another. And then it also features Ace Felly, who is another artist and producer, and then Yosa Nova, who's a producer from South Jersey. And we kind of all came together with this idea of like, let's do something. And especially with everything going on, kind of the idea was pitched to do a song like about what was going on, about the Black Lives Matter movement, and just everything going on in the world right now. And we kind of came up with this concept and this idea. Yost produced the beat, and we came out with the song City on Fire. We dropped it on Sunday, and it's our first single as a group, and there's going to be more music coming, so I'm looking forward to it. We all got together Sunday. We all celebrated the single coming out, and the cool thing is we're all from different parts of the state. So there's people from North Jersey, there's people from Central Jersey, there's people from South Jersey. So it all coincides, and it's really cool to have like people from all over the state kind of vibe together and be like all on the same page. So it's really been great.
So first of all, because the wrestling person, the wrestling freak came out. Please tell me you saw NXT before this.
No, I didn't.
My heart. Okay, I gotta wait till Mikey watches it tomorrow. I understand now.
What, NXT?
Yeah,
It
was a show.
The one that came on yesterday?
No, the one that today's Wednesday, bro.
Oh right, that comes on tonight. You talking about the one from last week?
No, I'm talking about the one from tonight.
Oh, the one from tonight. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it when I get home.
Oh
when I get home in the morning. When I get home in the morning.
Thank you, Keith Lee. That's all I gotta say. But if you guys are the Horsemen, right? Which WWE superstar of the Horsemen are you?
See, I like I said, I think we're like the old school Horsemen. I think we're like the J.J. Dillon era.
Okay, so
out of the five, I'd probably say me and Pro are probably closest to Arn and Tully. Like that's probably what we go with.
And do you have like a top 5 favorite wrestlers?
Yeah, I watch all kinds of stuff. Like I'm a big New Japan fan. I watch New Japan all the time. So like I wake up at 3:00 to check those out.
See, we don't get that often because everyone we ask them their favorite wrestlers, like the top 5. They always tell us WWE.
Yeah, like I'm really digging what AEW's doing right now. Kenny's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Kenny Omega is so talented, and when you saw, like, what he got me the most was the first time he did Omega versus Jericho. I was watching that all through work. I was like, all right, I don't care if I get in trouble. Let me just do this.
Yeah, I mean, him and Okada, if you watch any of those matches from Japan, like all 3 of those matches are classic matches. Kota Ibushi's awesome over in Japan. I'm trying to think of some people like over here. I really like Ray Phoenix and Pentagon from AEW.
Okay.
They're really awesome. Phoenix is probably like one of the most talented people I've ever seen. Yeah, like I'm not. I like WWE. I grew up on WWE and like WCW.
But now WWE is washed.
And ECW. I was a big ECW person, especially being like in South Jersey when it was in Asbury all the time. Like, I mean, that's what I went to as a kid was ECW and WWE stuff. If I had to pick like a WWE superstar, I'd probably say Kevin Owens. Like he's awesome. I like Adam Cole and Undisputed. I actually like know some people that know them, so like it's kind of cool. I like Matt Riddle too. Matt Riddle's like a really talented dude.
Yeah, Matt Riddle's fire. I like Matt Riddle.
And like I think like it'll be no time before he's like champ.
Right.
They're
gonna have to give it to him eventually.
Yeah, have to.
You can't deny it.
They're gonna deny it for a while. Look how long.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, of course, but
I think like to me, like if especially if they're looking for somebody to like fill that Brock role and be that dude, he's the legit fighter. You know what I mean? Like he's another legit dude that like he can actually fight. He can actually do things. Like he had a great record in UFC, which most people don't talk about. So
his record was awesome in UFC actually.
And like I think, you know, if they get like his extracurricular stuff under control, I think it'd be fine. I think everything else will work out. And AJ Styles still one of the best people. He's one of the nicest guys. I've met him a couple times. He's really awesome.
We need to go to Jersey because apparently everything happened in fucking Jersey.
well, I met him when I lived in Florida. I used to live in Orlando when TNA was there. Universal Studios, that was where it was filmed and shot. So I actually did my externship for college at Universal. So like I got to see them a lot.
So you think your externship, what did you study?
I studied audio engineering. So I have my Bachelor's of Science degree in engineering.
Oh, he's one of them fancy. Do you have beats that you like promoting or beats that you want to sell? Sorry, Mikey.
I don't know. I don't produce. I just engineer. I'm in the process of trying to set up like a to record people in. I've kind of just been doing like my own thing for years and like working side jobs doing it. But yeah, I'm kind of really looking at like, you know, kind of gradually opening like something to have people come and record.
Okay. So before I keep talking your ear off, I do want to get into your single City on Fire because we started talking about wrestling and that's unfortunately my problem. I'm sorry. So can you introduce it for us?
Yeah, this is City on Fire, produced by Yosanova, done by the Horsemen, Kid Pro, Ron Solomon, Ace Felly, and myself. And it's available now. You can follow us on Instagram at The Horseman Official. And here it is.
Check it. Yo, so Nova, what up? Kid Pro. This is one of the toughest verses I had to write. This shit'll drain your energy, kill your peace and your appetite. Cause see, the problem is this: racism and corona the same. Too many people acting like it don't exist. Shit, look, this is the call to action. It's time to represent, separate the truth from distraction. It's more than just posting a black square with a caption. Imagine enough marching, the pavement gon' start cracking. Damn, see the truth, check the facts and expose the lies. So we might have to go strategize and go mobilize. It's a cold world, this ain't the time for division. But now it's undisputed, we gotta go shock the system. Listen, sooner or later you gotta take a stand. Look out for your fellow man, they thinking we don't understand. Man, don't be dumb thinking this don't involve you. Cause if you keep it quiet, believe me, that's speaking volume.
Yeah. So did I lose my way? Because I'd rather go to war than pray. Fuck these marches and these goddamn petitions for change. AMLK, is it okay to grab the AK and let it spray? I tried to please Elijah McClain was such a saint and still was slain. Yeah, so I guess it's open season like a packet on the table. How my salt is spilling over, leaving races cut disabled. If every man's your brother, then we must be Cain and Abel. And I'm really fucking with it if we really getting fatal. I'm spinning suckers' heads, I got them looking like a dreidel. And mother won't be proud of this. Violence not the answer, but I'll never live in cowardice. So if it's me or you, just know I'm only on Black Power shit. And if I take a knee, it's gonna be yours after I shower it. Rest in pieces out of it. That's how I handle shit. Yeah. We need a strong.
We've seen this, immense multicultural crowd both here and around the globe. I think that, people start feeling more comfortable asking for more radical demands. They say defund the police. Let's say reimagine ways that our societies can protect themselves. Let's ask for different ways that we can imagine how public safety can be designed.
I can no longer sit in silence. I never talk about the politics and all this shit, but I admit I'm kinda tired. Y'all don't get the riots. Y'all don't watch Star Wars and ignore the entire idea of Rebel Alliance. Y'all support tyrants, talk about make America great when all it is hate and fucking violence. Y'all sit there and stare at your phone and not bat an island. There's a war going on outside and y'all fucking quiet. End up dead like Epstein, don't let them play my songs back. Tell you I'm depressed when I wasn't, and it's all facts. We need to unite, we need to do better. Cause we in this together like it's FIFA Vendetta. Keep on falling victim to flaws in the system. People get killed, but still y'all won't convict them. I'm on the side of every person that's misfortunate to die at the hands of people sworn to protect them. We all created equal. The people shouldn't fear the government. The government should go and fear the people. It's all just evil, and really that's a given. Nothing is true, everything's permitted.
Shit, I'm just a black man going through the daily struggle. Cause every day I wake up, I pray to see my brothers. Wildin' like they really don't see the issues. Blacks victim to the violence, tired of seeing triplets. Time to rise to the shine of our separate orbits. Change the mind of the laws and restore the order. Days going to the ignorance and villagers from the village people who just really be discriminating. And it's love and support to our fallen equals. But I really fucking wish you never seen those eagles. Fuck with all the power to the people.
Gotta bring a little love.
Praise the Lord, babe.
In this life.
Oh yeah. Of course.
These are important questions that America should be asking itself, especially since the rates of, terms of disproportionality have not really gone down. In fact, you're seeing, as I noted in the piece, folks are still getting killed, more than 3 times. Up to 4 times as much as white people. Despite the fact that killings, overall are still going down.
I think there's still a tremendous amount of misunderstanding about Black Lives Matter. What is it? Is it an organization, or is it a philosophy? Is it a hashtag, or is it something more? So can you just give us sort of like the basic?
And we are back. We back. That was City on Fire from the Horsemen, the New Jersey Horsemen, not to be, mixed up with the WWE Horsemen. We ain't trying to get sued, WWE, just saying, we kind of do it better anyways. No, I'm kidding. Before I get slammed by all the wrestling fans.
You're gonna have WWE cancel our shit, man. You're gonna cut our shit off.
Nah, that's why we went with the Horsemen, not the 4 Horsemen.
And there's not even 4 of them. There's 5. So it's
5.
That's what I'm saying. We the JJ Dillon era Horsemen.
Right.
The
WWE quick to cut some shit.
What was that?
Quick to cut some shit. They'll cut some shit quick.
Yeah.
So what has Guess honestly been doing outside of music during this quarantine? Like, we spoke about your music. We spoke a little about your beginnings because we know people don't like to really always talk about the same thing. But what did you do over the quarantine? Like, did you find new recipes to cook? Did you find something you actually wanted to do that had nothing related to your music?
Not really. I like travel. I like hiking and stuff like that. So I did a lot of that during the quarantine. Before they shut stuff down, and then after they shut stuff down, I was working. I was an essential worker. So
so there was no quarantine for you.
There was when I came home from work, but otherwise no. Pretty much life was still kind of normal. So yeah, I didn't. I was still working. I was still doing stuff every day. So for me, it was kind of same thing. Just really, really focus on music and working and trying to get as much stuff done and learning new skills, trying to learn all the analytics stuff, getting all my paperwork situated. with ASCAPs and everything like that. Trying to get all my ducks in a row, I guess. I had a lot of stuff like planned for this year. I was supposed to do the Jersey Shore Music Festival down here for the first time, which I was really excited about because it was something I've really been working towards. And that ended up getting canceled. So like there was a lot of things that were in the works and a major stage show and some other stuff. So hopefully once we can get back out there and do some stuff, things will start rolling again. I've been working on actually trying to do something depending on how everything goes in the next couple of weeks. Like if we're still allowed to be outside and we don't get shut down like Florida and some of these other states again, I want to try to throw something outside and live stream it. At least get a couple people together, have like a whole concert and just live stream the whole thing. So hopefully that'll all work out.
Sorry, I had to mute my co-host because he might be an overnight essential worker. When you hear the tape come out, there's probably some poor woman in a giant box.
That's my fucking fault, yo. I didn't even realize I could hear that shit. My bad.
Listen, it's good. It's quality radio right there. So if you want to be Michael Bostic's next victim, you can follow us at Raw Zone NYC.
Right.
So we're reaching the end of our interview. Michael Bostic, any last questions for our awesome guest?
I had one and I totally forgot what it was. Because I was gonna ask him earlier, and then you got to talking, and it just totally threw me off.
Yeah, I know. Like he has the tendency to do that.
Yeah, I be lost amongst working and shit like that.
No, let's talk about him being an awesome guest.
Nah, he is. He was a very awesome guest. Very, very, you know what I'm saying? Open. The music was dope. Yo, like, come back anytime, for real, for real.
We need to go to Jersey.
We need to do what?
We need to find like a normal non-COVID spot in New Jersey to congregate and meet him.
True.
Yeah, we could definitely set that up. You should get together with all the horsemen. That's what you should do.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
For that.
So we could definitely set something up.
So you really don't remember your question though, Mikey?
Nah, I'm really like I'm lost.
She was trying to give you some time to think about it.
No, I'm so lost on it right now. I didn't even know. Cause I got so much going on here. It's like I have no clue what I was gonna ask.
With everything going on right now though, when do you feel like this mask phase is not going away anytime soon?
So
if ever,
let's accept it and move on with our lives at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what we got to do.
But when do you feel like it will be okay for us to be out there again? How long do you think it'll take? Because the way that Cuomo is stringing around the whole going back to school thing.
Yeah, I still don't think that's even going to happen. Like, I know they're talking about it. I know they're really pushing for it. The problem is the board of the overall director of education, like for the whole entire country, they're pushing for it because they're trying to cut the budget if they don't go back to school. So like that's the main thing. There's a lot of like little things that are all tied into everything going on. So that's kind of really the reason why we like wanted to do City on Fire. Like, I talk about some other things like besides just the racial stuff that's going on. There's really a lot of stuff going on like during this time, and it seems like every month we get like some new like a little surprise or new bit of information on like something going on, and like we still don't really know what's going on with the COVID situation. It just kind of seems
that's the whole fact, because one day, first of all, New York is actually pretty okay right now.
Yeah. I think yesterday or the other day was the first.
It was like zero new cases.
Zero cases, zero everything. So despite being open again, not completely open, but being a little bit open, it's still how people are still being careful. I mean, I don't know what to not be careful about when they tell you to wash your fucking hands, but not hard. Soap and water.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I don't even know. Like I know some people are going to go ahead and try to throw some outdoor shows and try to do some other stuff, and try to like come up with different ways to like, entertain and try to do what they can. But I mean, it's going to be tough. I really think it's going to be a while before like we're going to be able to actually do like shows again, where like we can have concerts and do things that we're used to. I mean, for all we know, like Mike was saying, this might be it. Like we might never have concerts again. Like it might all just be virtual from here on out. I don't know. It's really crazy to think of like we don't really know that much about what's really going on.
You know that this is something I really remember back in college, right? Because my major was history. Because I was an after school teacher teaching art, but I also have my degree in history. So I took a conspiracy theory course. Shout out to Dr. Theory. I still got Stephen Pinkett's book about all these fucking theories, right? But in 1973, when Dwight Howard did his farewell address, he talked about the military taking more control. He talked about the rise of big business, the rise of organizations, the rise of technology. And that he said the world would no longer be the same way. At some point, you will have people going against their officials. So he talks about all of this. And I think back on it and I'm like, damn, it's like we always fulfill the same self-prophecy.
Yeah, I mean, and you got people that are, like you got some people that are just going to fight for anything. Like you got people fighting against the mask and protesting it, and it's really
Right.
And that's
really nothing. It's nothing imposing on anybody's right whatsoever. I mean, you're trying to protect you and you're trying to protect other people. So at the same
Right.
time, you just have to be considerate, and like that's what it's all about. Because people can be carriers and not have symptoms, not have any signs. There's people with bad immune systems that could contract it very easily. So I mean, there's things you got to take into consideration, things you got to be careful about. Unfortunately, like this really is the world we're living in right now, and it's not just us, it's all over the world. It just seems to be like we're the ones fighting back against it for whatever reason, and it really doesn't make any sense to people. Just need to understand that like it's an epidemic. We just got to figure it out.
because I'm pretty sure when Anthrax came out, and I'm gonna end up saying my age because I was probably like younger, like almost mid like child into teenager years, right? When Anthrax was a big concern.
Mm-hmm.
And then they told us the necessary protocols, and I don't remember if people stopped, the same way they did now, but that threat was eliminated right away.
Yeah, but that was just something people were mailing. It was
And
just
then the same with Ebola.
Two different things.
You sure? Because there was protocol for that, and then Ebola, went away.
Ebola didn't go away. We have medicine and cures for it. Anthrax was a chemical that somebody manufactured and was shipping to people. That's all that was. It was just a powder that's a toxic chemical.
Ebola's been around for a long time.
Ebola's been around for hundreds of years.
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't
nothing
new.
It's
one of those kind of things they were worried about.
Like we still have Ebola now. It's still something.
Right. There's still Ebola going. Like it didn't go away.
It's in some countries, like you can still contract it and still get it. You can get Ebola from all kinds of different things. Yeah.
So now that we've unfortunately reached the time, tell us about Nights in the City.
Ooh, it's got to be one of my favorite songs.
Mine too.
It really was. It was created. I wrote it literally on a drive from Jersey to New York. We were going to a bar one night, and literally, like the song kind of starts off in the car and then takes you back to the bar, and then like kind of writes you through a story of basically like driving over the bridge and thinking about somebody that's far away and that can't be with you. Doing shows, performing. I'm constantly on the road all the time. Like when stuff's really open. Pretty much every show I got to drive to, it's about an hour or more. So like, I got late nights. I come home 2-3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Sometimes I don't sleep and just go right to work. So like Nights in the City was really just a kind of encompassing that and talking about like, you know, you might care about somebody and they're on your mind all the time, but you maybe can't be around them all the time. And, you know, they got their own stuff going on. They got work, they got life that they have to deal with. And you're trying to focus on you too. So like kind of two people being separate and being in separate cities. And like the fact was like the whole kind of concept of the song was being able to, when you're in the city and you look up at the stars, you can't really see the stars because of all the lights. So that was kind of the whole concept of the song of like, you know, trying to go wish up on a star. But you can't because you can't see any stars. All that you see is the city lights. So instead you're kind of wishing on the city lights instead.
That's exactly the feeling that I got listening to that, ironically.
And it's produced by the Plan Beats, the real good dude. So yeah, it's really one of my favorite songs, like conceptual wise, of trying to come up with a topic and the whole entire like painting the story. That's really important to me, is like kind of telling a story and making sure that like I speak about things that people can relate to, and it's personal to me, but I can also tailor it to make it more general and make people just accept it and make people understand kind of the message that I'm trying to convey. And that's probably like the most important thing for me, like when it comes to music, is just really being able to have people relate to it. I don't talk about a lot of the things that a lot of other people do. I'd rather make that mood music type stuff, and that's just kind of me. So really, like, yeah, Nights in the City is just a really cool story and really, really conceptual.
Once again, my love, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure, honestly. And anytime you want to do this again, next time we do it all in person, like I said, we'll definitely work it out.
We go back on the 28th, so I'll hit you very soon with the schedule.
Okay.
Let you know what's going on. In the meantime, we're gonna drop your social media, go into your song, and then you're free to stay for the show, but you're not obligated to. But we're gonna go into a music break, and then we're gonna talk about our dub for the day before we close out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So y'all can follow me at Guest Music, Muzik. It's right here where my name is. On all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. My music is everywhere on all streaming platforms. Same name, Guest Music, Muzik. Go play City on Fire, out right now by The Horsemen, Kid Pro, Ron Solomon, Ace Felly, myself, produced by Yosanova. It's available on all streaming platforms, and be on the lookout. Got more stuff in the works and some stuff coming up this year. So really excited about it.
Thank you so much. And without further ado, this was Nights in the City.
Thanks, guys.
Someone different in the car. Mine is getting good, wishing I was where you are. All I see is buildings, some distant kind of far. Trying to wish upon a star, but it's hard, cause now all I see is lights in the city. And I wish all these nights that you were with me, and I hope that I should right. You will forgive me, and I hope if I don't right, then you'll forgive me, cause now all I see is lights. I'm somewhere different at a bar. I'm gonna walk outside and try to look up at the stars. Had a couple drinks and now my vision's kinda off. Matter of fact, I'm kinda lit. Someone give me to my car. I guess it's been a minute since we talked. Somewhere out in Philly and I'm somewhere in New York. Somewhere far from home and you're probably not alone. Know that this is kinda hard. I keep looking at the phone like I just gotta focus for the show. Light another blunt, I just hope that they don't know. All these nights that I've been stressing, I've been fighting this depression, and I might just get on stage, make a joke and might address it. They keep singing knock knock, let me in. Every time I hear it, I just stop and I just grin. They wanna know the story, I'm like, where do I begin? I always keep on falling for it time and time again. So now I'm supposed to get you off my mind, and now I'm supposed to act like this is fine. Light another cig, I guess that's just how it is. But I'm sorry, gotta go, I just got up off the bridge. Somewhere different in the car. Mine is kinda drifting, wishing I was where you are. All I see is buildings, some distant kind of far. Trying to wish upon a star, but it's hard, cause now all I see is lights in the city. And I wish all these nights that you were with me, and I hope that I'm just right. You will forgive me, and I hope if I don't right, then you'll forgive me, cause now all I see is lights in the city. Cause now all I see is lights in the city. Somewhere different in the car. Mine is kinda drifting, wishing I was where you are. All I see is buildings, some distant kind of far. Trying to wish upon a star, but it's hard, cause now all I see is lights in the city. And I wish all these nights that you were with me, and I hope that I just right. You will forgive me, and I hope if I don't right, then you'll forgive me, cause now all I see is lights in the city.
I said, let's talk about it. Pick up the phone. Hey, I'ma pull up wherever, just let me know. Okay, let's throw something up and just let it blow. Okay, now smoke all that stress away, let it go. Well, up and away we go. Take a hit, hold it in. Take a sec, yeah. Okay, I tell her all the troubles that's been going through my head. She took another pull, looked over and she said, you gon' feel some hurt, you gon' lose some friends, you might lose your ends, there gon' be some pain, but you gotta keep going, you gotta keep moving. You know, you gotta be showing, you gotta be yeah, who can be you better than you? Come on, tell me the truth. You don't see the diamond in you, you live and breathe the proof. Don't ever try to compare yourself to the others. As long as you're staying true to yourself, there could never be another. Never, ever. Hey, that's what she told me. It had me stuck for a minute. I could lose this any minute. I should go and live this to the limit. No regrets, no feelings to keep in check. Just acknowledge your faults. Don't lie to yourself. You could have it all as long as you applying yourself. Don't be a pessimist. Focus on whys and what ifs. You should be enterprising and maximizing on your gifts. Know that you ain't meant to be living the life you living. Don't be settling for crumbs when you know that you worth $1 billion. Shit, you better take advantage while you on this planet. Niggas making it in this game in less than half your talent. Verses, flows, deliveries, and hooks. And you know when you on stage, you leave all of these niggas shook. It's not a question, you be handing out these lessons. So tell me why you stressing when you getting all these blessings. You gon' feel some hurt, you gon' lose some friends, you might lose your ends, there gon' be some pain, but you gotta keep going, you gotta keep moving. You know, you gotta be showing, you gotta be proving. Check it. Ain't nothing better than keeping it real. How you feel? Why all the focus on negativity? What's the deal? Blaming the world for your issues is such a mess. Now you carrying bad vibes and unnecessary stress. That's when she told me again that shit, say la vie, it is what it is, let it be. See, what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. Just make sure that whatever happens don't stop you from greatness or gonna keep you slacking. Take some action if this your passion, to match it with the same energy that was causing all those distractions. Cause dark days like this was never the norm, and if you can't stop the rain, best believe you gon' weather. I said let's talk about it, pick up the phone. Hey, I'ma pull up wherever, just let me know. Okay, let's throw something up and just let it blow. Okay, now smoke all that stress away, let it go. Well, up and away we go. Take a hit, hold it in, take a sec, yeah. Okay, I tell her all the troubles that's been going through my head. She took another pull, looked over and she said, you gon' feel some hurt, you gon' lose some friends, you might lose your ends, there gon' be some pain, but you gotta keep going, you gotta keep moving. You know, you gotta be showing, you gotta be proving. Yeah. Shit. I mean, fuck it. I'ma just take this shit over there.
Vibes, you need this?
Of course. Underdog in my town. One night, you be gone. Used to riches, bad bitches. Fake niggas get Armstrong. 3-point, star shooter. Hawks with me, no 11. About to cop this new paddock. My bitch want the new Birkin. I'm with the stars, dog. Just looking the radar. Off the drip, bitch slip. That's the kill, call the coroner. From the bottom, took too many losses. Now I'm up, fill my cup, grab my nuts, I deserve it. You know the vibe. When them black trucks pull up, you know the vibe. We outside, nigga. You know the vibe. We make them guys have to slide. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. You know the pinky lip done shit, well equipped niggas know the vibe I'm on. Stretch 600, bumpin' Bad Bunny with a Bad Bunny hoe. I know you want me to rain on you. I'm just trying to see what you and your friends gon' do. Cause I need a model, show me attention. It's coming up, double your cup when you one of my section. Cause I got the gang out, too much to mention. You know we outside, watch how you slide. Niggas ain't dancing, cause you know the vibe. When them black trucks pull up, you know the vibe. We outside, nigga. You know the vibe. We make them guys have to slide. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. You know the vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. You know the vibe.
Public Enemy's Chuck D, Rage Against the Machine have all made popular music that inspired and informed. What artists do you feel today uphold that tradition and how?
You know, it's an interesting question. We haven't seen as much directly political music.
Condemnation. Police not treat me well, them know I protect the nation. All they wanna do is lock me in a cell. They treat me like they hate my soul and beat me till my eyes them close. Condemnation. Police not treat me well. When them policeman stay, sir, isn't it protect and serve every day, sir? Why you treat me like you never have a kiss, sir? Is it just because the color on my face, sir? Mama, don't cry, no. I'ma make things right for sure. I'ma come on the night to you. Don't you worry, don't you worry. You tell me what was right from wrong. I do pray every night. God protect me when I walk along these streets every night. My biggest fear is hoping I don't get over by some cops saying I'm resisting and it's over. Condemnation. Police not treat me well. Them know I protect the nation. All they wanna do is lock me in a cell. They treat me like they hate my soul and beat me till my eyes them close. Condemnation. Police not treat me well. Yeah. One for them youths incarcerated. Two for them youths them kill off for hatred. They not all bad, but some of them racist. Me love my life, me know how you take it. Sim. Me no got no gun in a me be mad, so don't take me out. Reach for no weapon when me see ya. Condemnation. Police not treat me well, them know I protect the nation. All they wanna do is lock me in the cell. They treat me like they hate my soul and beat me till my eyes them close. Condemnation. Police not treat me well. Kingpins. Holy shit! Oh my god. Outside of like Patrick Swayze, don't be alone. Holy shit! Oh my god. I have never been a sellout, no Uncle Tom.
OMG, LOL, let a nigga tell his tale. I've been on the grind, now I'm coming off the rail. Sometimes I had the velvet bag and chips, I know some style. Them bitches wanna stalk me, I've been blowing on this hell, it's been a while. Oh my god, guess you hit me for this ride. I've been in the air, cause I'm busting out the pie. You can't be my bitch, you could probably be my side. But I ain't seeking nothing, now I'm probably going high. Y'all be killing me, I guess my feelings probably died. And if you suck and swallow, have a slice of humble pie. Cause while I'm in my bubble seeing green, I won't reply. Don't hit me out the blue, I'm puffing, la in the sky. ASL, little boo, I'm tryna fuck, is this guy blue? I've been putting in that labor, share your fruit, honey will do. All up in the sticky, icky. Bustin' back to back, I got the blicky. Getting freaky on Fridays, I see being on a low. Holy shit!
Oh my God. Outside of like Patrick Swayze, don't be alone. Holy shit! Oh my God. I have never been a sellout, no Uncle Tom. Holy shit like church toilets. Give me money, unemployment. Do this rap shit for my enjoyment. Let it flow, don't force it. Hella drip like a licky faucet. Killing the game, that's hella corpses. Paint a rhythmic 360 portrait. I be rapping circles around these niggas. Put me in just to follow nigga. Never know how fake taste shit. Don't agree with my palate nigga. Certified, I'm valid nigga. Dropping bodies as a pallet niggas. Counting green as a salad nigga. Favorite movie, that's Kid and Play. I'm babysitting all you childish niggas. Yeah, call me Big Drip. I'm the cool kid at the table you can't sit with. Hit your shorty from the back and give a slip this. She don't tell you take it out, you better rip this. I'm in this. Oochie, all up in the coochie. Lucy, thinking girl a floozy. When I hit this shit be juicy. After this, I'ma need a Lucy. Get the butt and flick it. Ain't no cuffing, that's a ticket. Ain't no lane switch on the side, nigga. I ain't got no time, nigga. Holy shit. Oh my God. Outside of like Patrick Swayze, don't be alone. Holy shit. Oh my God. I have never been a sellout, no Uncle Tom. I've been fast since a young man, slang, buggy, y'all niggas ain't saying nothing. All I hear is crickets, I'm the nigga now. I've been busy, buzzing. See, I came from nothing, then we're back to something. Then we're back to nothing, now I'm back to something. Like a roller coaster, up, down, and I'm a whirlwind. But my grandma love me, your bitch love me too. Got them college and hip assless, the boo, show me what to do. Have her screaming, holy shit, dick it down. Make her bustin' up like a waterfall. Make her come for 2 or 2. She gon' give me cheese, I'm a big ass freak, I'ma show you what to do. I'ma fuck a girl to my damn song and I'ma have her dreaming, ooh. Bitch of Rick James when I'm in the thing, beat the pussy black and blue. I'm a big dog for the kitty, man, lot of dicks finna chew. She a little beauty with a big booty, keep the camera rolling too. Holy shit! Oh my God. Outside of like Patrick Swayze, don't be alone. Holy shit! Oh my God. I have never been a sellout, no Uncle Tom.
Oh my God, holy shit. Might use my face when your girl need a place to sit. Take a seat. Get Tide Pods, then swallow, bitch. Cause that's the only way you'll get sicker than this. Wait, look. Skin pale like bleaching it, going Alcatraz on the verse. Now people looking at me thinking he's Uncle Tom in reverse. Fuck beside him, get hurt. Got prospects all unique with him. You'll never hear the rollie ticking. Got ice on it like it's burnt. I met this Bella chick, she said her life's mission is Jesus and Bellatrix and Lestri. Snake slither in her garden of Eden. Got her lips around my penis. No gag reflex, she's bulimic. Man, this bitch was hella thick. Got on my dick and had a seizure. All this shame-o got me too. Got coke my nose just to get lit. My worst version done what you got. PBS is go to my wrist. Tell these critics the same thing R. Kelly says. Taking up this. Oh my God. Suck my dick. SMD.
Oh, are you walking on this beat with no feet, bro? Thinking about I just do it, yeah, I know, go. Going, let me throw it, was my composure. The way I'm going, you would thought I was so. I can hit it or the devil on the notes, yeah. Chill in my ear, tell me how my beer. Now I started making new ways, yeah. Now I started making new ways, yeah. The water overflowing through that pussy hard. Got the G-spot asshole, yeah. Subs after subs, yeah. You wouldn't get it done. Rated R with these kids on their phones. This shit is not new, everything is so exposed. I need a blind flow, I guess I rated PG. It's a new motto, mine is all gone. I'd rather stay home, yo. But again, that shit is always on my phone, yo. How you walking on this beat with no feet, bro? Thinking more, I just do it, I know, cuz. Going, let me throw it, was my composure. The way I'm going, you would thought I was so. I can hit it all the devil on the notes, yeah. Chill in my ear, tell me how my beer. Y'all started making new ways, yeah. Y'all started making new ways, yeah.
All this shit is up a statue with so many eyes. Like a new little
something coming out the garden. Most of these niggas got no passion for the youth stuff. Bring that money, sign, plotting for the big garden. Patronize, or the one to die for it. Or they sell their soul cause they lost it. Maybe that's what most niggas want, hate wonders. No longevity is once the money hits, no more, this is never known. Either kill, go broke, your brother live behind. What's the just so open, exposed person? All limits, no love and emotions. Don't give me room, so cautious and nervous. I always say I used to with no feet, bro. Like you know I just do it, I know coach. So I let me throw it, was my composure. The way I'm going, you would thought I was so myself. I can give it all the number, all the notes, yeah. GOD in my head, tell me how I did it. No, I started making new ways, though, yeah. Now I started making new ways, though, yeah.
And we are back. We are back.
Clear for landing.
Where's Buster Hyman? Where's Buster Hyman? Yo, Buster Hyman.
I'm here. I was fumbling with the fucking phone.
Oh, I thought you were just fumbling, with the gag in the girl's mouth. Got it.
Yo. All right. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Pause culture is great, isn't it?
Right.
But speaking of pause culture, I kind of wish we did another episode with The Hangover again. But we had a topic last week that we did not completely get into, and we didn't explore it into full length until it got more into the media.
Right.
All right, and this is our dub for the day because we don't know who's actually getting the dub in this situation.
Right.
So, as we were told and we've seen, August Alsina was promoting his new album in front of a globe with Angela Yee.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he spills his intimate relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith,
Right.
aka the goddess of the Smith.
Right.
And the affair was over 5 years ago, which wasn't even an affair because Will and Jada were split.
Right. Was it 5 years?
It was more than 5 years.
Did they say that? Okay. Because
Yeah.
I'm really under the impression that it was way sooner than that. But if they said it was 5, I'm gonna go with 5.
I mean, that is based on the Red Table Talk.
Based on what they've said. All right, cool. So we'll go with that then.
Okay. So, but meanwhile, there was already speculation of that relationship because August Alsina made the track Nunya.
Right.
Which had the text conversations between Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina, and it had in the cover art her middle name.
Right.
So you clearly hear either butthurt that she dumped you, knowing she was still married. 2, you really didn't have a good marketing team, and you thought this was a way to market your project.
Well, I mean, anything to get you talking about, get people talking about you. So I mean, I don't know if it helped any album sales much, but I mean, people have been talking about him for the past 3 weeks. So I mean, something worked. It may not have worked in the way that he wanted it to, but something worked.
Like
and I don't know if I can agree with him actually being butthurt that it didn't work out, because it seems according to them that he was the one who broke it off. Like, I think they were willing to continue a relationship together with him. I mean, this is just from what I gathered.
Because she said, what, a swinger couple?
I don't know, because she said we were going to work our thing out. That's what Will said. But August was the one to break it off. So did they have an intention of I don't know. Like I'm not gonna speculate, but like what was the intention for August if August was the one to break it off? You get it? Like they said he Jada specifically said he broke it off, and then I haven't spoken to him in 2 years. That's where I'm getting the 2 year thing from, because
But then the
she's
split
saying
was
they broke it off, and then
5 years.
they haven't spoken in 2 years. So I don't know.
So what if they were what if this happened 5 years ago and then they were friends for 2 years?
I don't. That's not how they made it seem. I can only go by the timeline that they gave, and that's not how they made it seem. They made it seem like it was a relationship that went on, and when Will and Jada decided they were going to work things out, because you got to remember during the Red Table Talk, Will said, "I was done with you." He was finished. They were separated. She decided that she was going to get into her entanglement with August, and and it happened, and it was. And if you look back on a lot of things, there was a lot of pictures, uh, 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 a
Nipple
lot of
touching.
appearances together that they did, things of that, and nobody really thought different of it. Like nobody really was like, "Oh, they're together," until he came out with the song.
And then at the same time too, Will goes and says we brought August into our family.
Hold on, Katie, hold on. What happened?
Will said it to Jada too on the table. We brought him into our family to help heal him. You were kind of, especially in this conversation, because this is now what, a 2 week conversation we're having also, where we heard the little snippets in the beginning. We started knowing more, and now we're at the part where it's like, okay, you thought she took advantage of him. She's
Yeah.
a sexual predator.
So, and I still feel that way. But like I don't know. This is a very weird situation. Very weird. Um, I don't really know, because we don't know what was said. We don't know what kind of intimate conversations they had together. Because according to August and his statement is that he was very much in love with Jada, and she was very much in love with him. And it just seems like maybe there was something said there that made him feel like this might be a forever thing. Because even him saying, "Oh, I got Will's blessing," like,
That wasn't true.
no, and it wasn't. But like Jada
That
said,
was
I
false.
think he meant to say it in a way to say that he wasn't a home wrecker, because Will never said, "I don't want you to date her while we're separated." You know what I'm saying? Like there was, I don't think they ever had a conversation, so it was never really like a certain point where he was like, "No." So that's what he meant by like, "I had Will's blessing because I'm in his house and I'm with her," and he never really said anything to me. Like he never had a conversation with Will saying like, "This is what it is." You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he meant. Who knows? I don't know. That's why this is very hard for me to really get into, because like I really truly feel bad for everybody in the situation. I feel bad for Will. I feel bad for Jada. I feel bad for August. I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad that the kids got to go through this, because that was Jada's friend. I mean, Jaden's friend, not Jada's friend. Jaden's friend. And like, what do you do now? Like, what do you do now? It's just a very touchy situation. And I'm just really glad at the end of the day, Will and Jada were able to work it and make it. You know what I'm saying? Make it work. Whatever kind of relationship separation that they had, they were able to make it work out in the end. Sometimes that's needed. Sometimes that separation is what needed.
If you found
Hold on,
out,
Katie. Hold on.
okay,
Keep going. Keep going.
if you found out your best friend boinged your mom the way that Jaden and Willow found out, how would you react? Hello. So on that note, because he's not here, we get back to that question. We're gonna go into that.
No, wait. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
You
I'm
left
here.
me with that air, you asshole.
I'm here. No, my boss came to talk to me. My bad, guys. So what was the question now? What was
So
going on?
if you found out your best friend boned your mom in an Angela Yee interview, like the way
Right.
August Alsina did it,
Right.
how would you react?
Um, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset because I think as 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 the friend who introduced you to the family in a time of need that you needed. You know what I'm saying? You took advantage of that in that aspect. But who is he mad at? Who should he be mad at? Should he be mad at his mom? Should he be mad at his dad? Like for allowing it to go down? Like I
But
mean,
but here's the thing, right? And that's what she said in her interview in the Red Table Talk. Will does not give her permission to have sex with
no,
him.
she said nobody could give her permission. But at the end of the day, as the child, you have to think as the child. Why would my dad allow my friend to sleep with my mom? Regardless if there was a permission or whatever it was, why would he allow that? So I would be mad at my dad. Why would you allow that to happen with my mom? Like why? What would make that what would make that okay for you? Like regardless if you're mad at my mom or whatever the case is, if you're done with her, you're not speaking, whatever the case is, why would you allow that? That's my friend. It could have been anybody else in the world, but my friend. You allowed that. So I would most definitely be mad at Will if I was that was my child. There would have to be a conversation. He'd have to give me the one on that. We're gonna have to fight. Something's gonna have to happen. Somebody gonna catch hands. Because that's not there's no way. There's no way. That's weird. You gotta think about that, how weird that is. Regardless if there was a permission or not. Why would you allow that to happen? You even if he would have just spoke out and she still does her own thing, at least you would have said he could have said, "Well, I told them I didn't like it, but they went ahead and do it because they're grown adults." That's different. But it seems like Will just allowed that shit to go on, which is why it's so weird.
Okay, so this goes back once again to the speculation of them having that open marriage.
Right.
So
Which now that I think about it, I don't think they ever had an open marriage.
I don't
I think
think they
that was
had
just
one
rumors.
either. I think they were just free spirited. If we're
Right, right. I think their parenting, the way they parent was different. This and that. It was just I think people just speculated shit, just did what they want to do, say what they want to say, drum up whatever drama they want to drum up. But I don't think they had an open marriage. I'm pretty. You know what it is? I'm pretty sure that Will was out there fucking everybody that he could, and people just saw it, and he was really out in the open in Hollywood with it. So people just assume, well, if he's so open, maybe it's an open marriage.
And then on top of that, right? This is the worst dub we ever had to do because it's so hard to figure out which one of the three is the actual biggest dub.
Right.
But you know that you can compare this whole situation to like two stories off of Friends.
I wasn't a big Friends fan like that. I've watched it, but
Okay. But you already heard the one about
about
oh
Ross and them on the break. Yeah,
that was
that's
one, right?
that's pop culture, so you got to know that.
But then there was the one where I think it was Ross that slept with Chandler's mom.
Wow, I remember that. That's OD. That's wild disrespectful. That is wild disrespectful. Why would anybody just think to do some shit like that?
I mean, if you had Jada Pinkett Smith right in front of you, wouldn't you want to fuck her?
Yeah, but I'm not Jaden Smith's friend though.
True.
like I don't have like familial ties like that. Like we're not. It's one thing if me and him are close or I'm close with Trey. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah,
Where
Trey is more
the
understanding because he's closer to our age, right? Our age range.
right. Like I can understand then it being like, but if I met Jada in the street and she pulled me over, was like, yo, what you want to do? Who am I to say no? Who am I to say no?
And she wear
But
the
if
outfit she wore when she was on Gotham. That's all you gotta ask her.
nah, I just want her to be woo. That's it. I don't care about none of that shit. She just need to be woo. Once she's woo, I'm good. We can go there. Or she could be lyric off of Jason's lyric. I can go for that. But other than that, you know, she, like I said, if that was the case, then why not? But if you come in from a family standpoint, yo, like that's wild disrespectful on his part. But once again, we still don't know what was said. We don't know how that relationship materialized. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that come from a mother-son relationship to a sexual one?
So, oh my God, yeah.
Right. Like, how did that progress? And that's something we'll never know. We'll never know that because that I mean, I'm sure August Alsina will spill the beans. I'm sure he'll say
Oh
something
wait,
wild or whatever. Huh?
she wasn't a, she wasn't he. What's it called? She wasn't in his album.
I heard there was a lot of songs on the album about her that referenced her, but I didn't listen. I actually heard one song from it last night while I was here, but I didn't really pay attention to it because his voice is weird. So I don't know. It was just like, oh, that's August. I remember how he sounds. He's kind of weird, but you know, there was nothing in the song that stood out to me. It was a very sexual song. So I mean, the whole song could have been about her. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really pay attention. Matter of fact, I think I might go ahead and just listen to that song again and see what the fuck he was talking about, just to be fucking nosy.
You know,
But
you want to know who was being nosy too, and apparently had the play-by-play of this whole situation.
cool.
Our favorite podcast host,
Who's that?
Joe Budden.
Uh, Big Joe. It's my guy.
Your guy kept me cracking up all weekend.
That's all he do, man. He's a jokester. He's a fucking clown.
Did you see how I described our working relationship?
No, I missed that.
Hold on. I will put it for you because
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes. I remember what you put up. Yes, I did see that. Yes,
should
I
we
did.
show the public how I describe you guys? You went live in the studio with me.
Hold on, I gotta go look at it again. You said something about how we pick on you the way they pick on Joe, Rory and what's her name pick on Joe, or something to that effect.
Yep. Here we go.
I'm done with this guy. Well, I'm done with this clip anyway. React. Give it to me. Truthfully. Listen, man. No. I've been waiting for this moment for years, and we're going to have this conversation respectfully.
Okay.
We're going to have it respectfully.
Let's do it. Of course. Because I got some shit to say.
All right, well, then answer me this. Mm-hmm. Where is Will right now?
On the set of Bad Boys 4. As he is for every Red Table Talk. Mm-hmm.
See why I hate these two niggas? Why? You see why I hate these two niggas? I'm going to go smoke.
Why?
Because there was a 6-month stretch in here where y'all painted me as the Will Smith hater.
That's a fact.
But behind,
there was evidence.
But behind.
And tell me not. That's not how y'all do.
It's true. It is true. It is absolutely true.
My clients of Ivy Productions, while I love them to death, their goal is to give me a headache every morning. At least twice on Wednesdays.
It is true. I will admit that is a goal of mine to bother Katie.
It's okay though, because you know why?
Why?
We on vacation for 2 weeks before we go back to the station.
1 week.
What are you talking about?
We go back the 28th. We're off next week, and then we go back the following week.
Oh,
Only
yeah. Okay, you're right. Your math is better than mine. So therefore, this is why I'm a photographer. So yeah, I can't wait to come back.
what happened?
I can't wait to come back. But we need to decide though, because even Joe Budden has said this whole situation is messy, and he called August Alsina a messy ass person.
I mean, and I think to be I think that he needs to get the dub. I think that he needs to get the dub because I think him coming out with that information so long after everything happened between them and it being so public, like it's one thing if you're telling people behind closed doors or you're talking to a therapist or whatever the case is, but like he made something that was supposed to be a private situation that was at least 2 years ago, from what we know, public for really no reason. I understand people telling their truth and things of that nature, but like really, like was that necessary? Like really, sir? Like
I
it
mean,
didn't make any sense.
my thing is like from the marketing standpoint, I wanted to give him a dub. From
I want to I want to give it to Jada because like I said I feel like there was an advantage being taken advantage of. I just feel like
I feel like all three equally deserve a dub.
right, but then at the same time I also feel like I don't know. I just feel like, and it's weird because I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, we would only be giving Will the dub. Like if this came like one of Will's hoes came out and was like, "Yeah, me and Will, we did this and blah blah blah, and I was in love with him and blah blah blah." Then they had to have a red table talk, and it was Will on the other end of the table. This would be a totally different conversation, and I may be wrong, but I just feel like that. Like I feel like
I
we're
feel
not
like Jada.
giving I feel like we're not giving Jada enough blame for what happened because I've seen the memes. It's like, oh, when men do this and men do that, the men are quiet. Now that the women are taking, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, for me, I don't know about other guys because I know men are like very, very weird people. Like we like to stick with our men, and whenever a man does something to a woman, we champion it, and it's like it's wrong most of the time. But I just feel like in this instant, we need to call it out for what it is. And regardless if they were separated, they were still married. Like separation does not mean divorce. So whatever they chose, because imagine if all of this went down and Jada got pregnant or caught something.
Oh, dun dun dun.
You know what I'm saying? Like now, what do we do? Now, any reconciliation that you thought was gonna have doesn't happen. Or I don't want to say doesn't happen. I know if it was me, it wouldn't happen. But like these are the things that we have to think about when we're in relationships. That's why I champion communication. I like when it comes to relationships, like yo, the number one thing is communication and comprehension. Those two things go hand in hand. If you can't comprehend what I'm talking about to you, and you can't sit down and really have an honest conversation about what's going on, then what are we doing in a relationship?
So
And the separate. That's why I feel like separation and me just coming out of a separation and a divorce and whatever the case is. It's like I look back at what broke the marriage, and it was the lack of communication. And yo, I promise you, if there was communication, we would be together now. So it's like, what has to be done in these relationships to make sure that these types of things don't happen?
So I want to give Will the dub because of what we talked about with his son, right?
Right,
I want to give Jada. Well, let me go in order. Will got the dub because of that.
right.
Alcina got the dub because, first of all, you're using sex to try to sell your project. Okay,
Right.
okay.
That to me, that's why he would get the dub. Like,
Wait,
come
wait,
on.
wait. There's more though. There's more though. Let me
Okay.
go.
Go ahead.
I am a fan, and I'm putting this out. I am a fan of Angela Yee.
Okay.
So this has nothing to do with her skills as the host. She's highly respected.
Mhm.
But if you were going in the route of talking about something as scandalous as this, I would not have went to Angela Yee with the interview.
Why? Why? Let me ask you why. Why would? Why? What? Where would you have gone with the interview if not Angela Yee?
I would say, honestly, I would have put him with Ebro in the morning show.
Ebro.
Listen though, because Ebro also picks, like, really picks the fuck out of them. So he'll tell you if that's a true statement or not.
Only problem with Ebro is Ebro's a hip hop head, so he's not gonna fuck with the R&B side of shit. He's not gonna be understanding of the
But then
R&B
again,
shit.
he has
So
Boris out there. He got Rosenberg. He got the whole.
yeah,
That's
but
like.
I'm not giving that interview to fucking wrestling Rosenberg. Like, you know what
But
I'm saying?
what about
Like,
Laura Styles? Like that whole dynamic right there.
eh, eh. Yo, keep it a buck. Hot 97 is not really it no more. So that's why
Okay,
Angela
but
Yu's probably the
would you
best to
really
go.
give this to Angie though? Because Angie, if this story is
Okay,
complete,
that's a better choice. That would have been a better choice.
we could
Absolutely.
give it to Angie, right?
Hmm.
But is she gonna get more into the uh she took advantage of you type of thing?
I don't think so. You see,
Or is
what you
she
got to
gonna
realize that a
or
lot
is
of these
she gonna
people
or wait,
when they go into these interviews, they tell you like, all right, we're gonna talk about this, but we can't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? So he probably goes in there saying she didn't take advantage of me, so we're not gonna talk about that.
you
But I
know.
will say this is what happened. You know, that's how they do those interviews now. You know, it's not like us where we just come in and we do interviews and we ask questions and they're like, oh, that's a really good question.
I mean, but we
Like,
don't also ask a lot of questions like that either because we mostly have these conversations, which is the same thing they're doing. But that conversation to me didn't flow. That if your intended way was to make it look like you trying to be a sleazeball, that didn't work because I feel like she was asking more of the questions, than having that conversation come out.
right. No,
So,
I fully believe that that was a random rant that just how when you getting into like say I don't know how many interviews Katie you've done as like as KDK or whatever the case is coming in and just somebody interviewing you, but sometimes somebody will ask a question and it'll just bring out like the most wildest answer because it just connects. But you were waiting for that type of question to come so that you can open up about it. And I think that's what happened with August. I think he was waiting for something to be said for him to open up and say, well, I was in love with Jada Pinkett Smith for such and such amount of time and this and that and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was just waiting for that. That's why I think he went to Angela Yee, who, while experienced in interviews, is probably not going to rebuttal or anything to something like that. Where Angie Martinez will probably be like, "Whoa, whoa, wait a second! Like, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? Blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? He's able to control the narrative in that way.
You know. And now as for Jada,
Mm-hmm.
she's a dub for entanglement. When does personal accountability play a factor into this? Uh
Right.
when we've all done our dirt. Ladies, you have cheated on your man with his best friend or kissed the wrong person, but you've done something that was wrong.
Right.
And if you get caught, why are we just I mean everyone does it.
Right.
So admit it, but why are we doubling back and trying to make it seem like it was something that was nothing when clearly to the other person it was his whole life?
I mean, you have a lot of people that believe that um while you're in a divorce and you sleep with while you're in a separation and you sleep with somebody else is not cheating. And then you have some people that don't believe that. Obviously, Will and Jada are the ones who believe that we were separated, so we're able to do whatever the fuck we want to do. And that's where the problem comes. That's where what's the proper etiquette for a separation? Like, do
But
you feel like when you're in a separation, is that have you downgraded to a boyfriend girlfriend? Like, what is it?
I don't know, but apparently they elevated to life partners. But while we figure out this dub, we're gonna put a poll on all of our social media for Raw Zone to figure out who is the dub because we've already stated our opinions in this nice debate of ours here on Welcome to the Raw Zone on DTF Radio and Platinum Radio, sponsored by Talent Wave. And we got another announcement when we come back, obviously, but we ain't gonna say it now. But we'll put the poll up. You guys could help us figure it out. When we come back on the 28th, we'll read the answers there.
Man, I
Uh,
hope something else comes out. Oh,
not
and then
something,
we didn't even get into Kiki Palmer. We didn't even
man.
get into Kiki.
Man, listen, we could restart a whole new thing into this, but we are out of time.
Damn, are we?
We really are, though.
Jesus Christ.
That's because you had a good night's sleep. That's what it was.
That's a fact, yo. Nigga Mike was knocked the fuck out. I
On
was
that
drunk.
note, Buster Hyman, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me everywhere, _ Michael Bostic, Twitter and Instagram. I have an EP out. It's called The Love Story. It's out on all streaming platforms with my singles, Confused and To Infinity and Beyond. I also have a project that I'm working on now called The Bedroom EP, which is going to be pretty fun. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as I've been enjoying writing it. So that's coming soon.
So, my name is Ivy. Thanks again for tuning in. Our podcast, our first wrestling talk podcast with Janelle from HR, is coming out tomorrow on our Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts. You can find us there. Catch us this Saturday, 5 to 7, Platinum Radio in Michigan. Once again, follow Talent Wave, follow Buster Hyman, follow me, follow DTF Radio, follow Platinum Radio. Thanks again for tuning in. Mikey, when I end this, stay on the line and wait for me.
All right, got you.
And we out.